Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and this is a word of caution regarding watching pick a card love readings. So while there is nothing inherently wrong with wanting to know where you stand with the love interest on your mind, the reason why you're wanting to know where you stand with them matters greatly, as it can greatly impact your mental and emotional well-being. So a very good question to ask yourself when it comes to why you're watching pick a card love readings is, am I simply curious or am I actually clinging? Holding on to hope isn't always a good thing, especially if it's keeping you stuck in limerence or in codependence. The last thing I want to do is to enable limerence and codependence with the content that I create. I want to help you create a life in which you're truly thriving, not keep you stuck in survival mode. And I know how it all works because I've been there. So this is where grace, knowledge, understanding, and compassion come in. It's okay if the only way you're able to self-soothe in this moment is by way of participating in coping mechanisms, distractions, and the like. As long as you're also doing yourself a favor by learning how to heal the wounding that has been fueling any limerence and or codependent patterns that you might have. My promise to you is that as you heal the wounding, your dependency on your SP, which means specific person, aka the person on your mind, or your ex, will begin to dissolve naturally, to the point where you're not even curious about what they're thinking and how they're feeling about you anymore. I know this to be true from personal experience. When you're ready to start healing the wounding, I have some amazing resources to get you going. My personal recommendation is to start with 2 videos, how to stop manifesting separation, and then the other one is called Releasing the Wants. Both videos will be linked in the description box below. My heart is always with you guys, and with that I bid you more happy viewing. Love, Michelle. What's going on, Pile 1? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Michelle. We are doing a pick a card love reading. We're tapping in and channeling through who you are to your person. We're also going to be looking at where you stand with them currently and what is it they want from you and from this connection. We're also going to be taking a quick peek inside their thoughts and feelings to help us kind of discern all of this information. Okay, so just keep in mind, you guys, it's a general collective love reading, so whatever resonates, you can take it, you can run with it, do whatever you want with it. If something isn't quite resonating or it's not landing, just drop that bit of information or that message and leave it behind for, you know, whomever it might be resonating with. Okay, so just keep in mind, yeah, I do have personal readings available. If you want me to tap exclusively into you and your person's connection, just check the description box below. All the booking details are there. I have a lot of readings available in the specific person category, including this one. I have this exact reading available as a personal, all right, under the specific person category. And as well, there's other, there are many $25 readings available in the specific person category as well. So just go check out the catalog, see which one most, fits your interest and your needs. Okay, let's see. Pile 1, you guys were drawn to the blue lace agate. Let's find out who you are to your person. Okay, we got peace in the reverse. We also have the number 23, which can break down into the number 5. So there could be some challenge or conflict that either, you're representing, or maybe you are mirroring, or somehow, some way, shape, or form, like, what do they call that? Initiating or triggering within your person. Okay, there is some confusion. Something about you and or this connection is very confusing for your person. Let me get their thoughts and feelings out real quick to see how this is going to shape up. Pile 1's person, your true thoughts and feelings towards pile 1 at this time. Let's see, so far we have the devil showing up with Capricorn energy. We also have cups, which is water, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. All right, pile 1's person. Your true honest thoughts and feelings towards pile one and your connection with pile one at this time. Let's just get a few. Their real true honest thoughts and feelings towards pile. They're very quiet towards you, it feels like right now, or at least their energy very much is. Picking up on both Hermit and the Hanged Man. So let's see, Virgo and Pisces coming through. You may have caused your person, whether directly or indirectly, to go into a moment of reflection or a phase of like self-reflection. It feels like self-reflection. There's mirror work coming through. And so I'm not saying that your person is literally standing in front of the mirror, right, doing mirror work, but it's like, just like mirroring. You mirrored something to your person. And it's not coming through yet whether or not it was, I don't think it is. If it is something that you said or that you did, pile one, I feel like it's natural. It's not something, it's inherent within you. For some reason though, who you are to your person, you're causing this person to do a really deep dive within themselves. A deep dive within themselves. All right, pile one's person, your real true honest thoughts and feelings towards pile. You have somehow, like, I'm hearing spontaneously kind of like ignited a thing within your person to really want to get down to the root of who they are, but mainly it's like why they do the things that they do with this devil energy here. Like, you know, for some of you, I don't know if your person was self-sabotaging just quite a bit, and now they're something about you though. I don't know. Are you a teacher in that area? You know, that's interesting. Let me see. Pile one's person, their real true honest thoughts and feelings when it comes to pile one. God, they're really quiet. Pile one's person, their real true honest thoughts and feelings towards pile one. I'm stalling to avoid taking action. And that is showing up right underneath the Four of Cups. Let me get a couple more. Okay, I'm having fun here. It says I'm just having fun here, nothing serious. And that's coming up underneath the Devil in the reverse. Healing from heartbreak. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know, you did something, or just your very essence and your energy, your presence could just be kind of like a trigger to awakening, or at least, in the very least, inner deep, like, self-reflection. Okay. Bottom of the decks. Oh, shutting down. Yeah. There is an essence here of, it's weird because the way that I usually want to put things is it's not that I'm not allowed. When I channel information, sometimes it's like I'll get the inkling that I want to say something, but then I'll be kind of restrained to explain it the way that I normally would. Yeah, I don't think you did this on purpose. There's a sense here that maybe you modeled to your person. You're like a living example of maybe how peaceful life can be, you know, once you conquer like inner demons or addictions or self-sabotaging habits or behaviors or something like that. You're kind of like you yourself are kind of like a reflection of what it's like to live life as your most authentic self. Huh. You know, which for people who are dealing, you know, with any kind of soul level wounding or core wounds or attachment issues or abandonment wounds, at least in the beginning, can be very disconcerting, because I'm picking up an energy coming through from your person, pile one. For some reason, who you are to your person, you make them feel uncomfortable, but what it is, it's like they can wear a mask, and they can wear that mask really well. And I don't know if you see behind the mask, or it's just like you're able to tap into like who a person truly is. You could be very sensitive to energies, pile one. And you can just detect. Maybe you have a very sensitive, like you can tell when somebody's being truthful or not. But what's interesting is this person almost, because I'm not picking up on an energy pile one where you just come right out and hammer this person with truth. It's just your person is almost getting a sense that right? Like you just know, like, they can lie to you and they're lying, but you may not say anything about it, right? You could be very good at holding space. Let's see what I'm stalling to avoid taking action. Actually, tell me more about this Four of Cups real quick. Oh, Page of Cups in the reverse. They could be holding off on maybe giving you an apology. They could be holding off on expressing what it is they really feel. That might be why, pile one, your person feels uncomfortable, because you already know you can pick up on what they feel. You can pick up on that energy. People that are very finely tuned to just energies in general, it doesn't matter how many masks a person is wearing, or even how thick an energetic wall that they might be, hunkering behind, like around their heart or something like that. People that are very sensitive to energies can detect it. They just know, right? And I feel like that's what's going on with you. And so your person could be withholding, or maybe even refusing, because the Four of Cups energy in the traditional Rider Waite shows somebody being given a cup, and there's somebody sitting, with their back up against a tree, just kind of like, I don't know if they're bored with it, if they're refusing it. I feel like your person is working through. You've triggered some kind of a thing within your person where they're very curious about why they react or respond the way that they do. But it's coming from a space of like, why do I self-sabotage, Okay, so that means that, there's something with this connection that your person is wanting at their core, authentically. If they were to be authentic about it, there's something that they want when it comes to you in this connection. But there is, a shadow side to them that is like, no, we can't open up. And there's that shutting down, right, at the bottom of the deck. That could be your person's, like, kill switch. Escape hatch. Like, no, we got to shut that down, right? We can't let pile one in. We can't let people know. We can't let anybody know who I really am. That kind of an energy. But people like you who are very sensitive to energies and just sensitive to, just sensitive energetically, people can hide all they want and even shut things down all they want to, but we can still pick up on stuff like that, right? And I feel like that's what's going on here. And so your person has been wanting, so it feels like, let me see, what is it? What are they rejecting that they actually want? Peace. There's kind of, your person up until this point, right? Because I feel like it's being worked on. Your person could have, their shadow side anyway, could have thrived in chaos and drama. Like intellectually, consciously, they may say that they don't want drama, but there is a part of them that actually does, because that's your person's way, or I should say at least their nervous system's way of keeping people from getting too close, It's that energy of like, well, maybe if I'm a jerk, or maybe if I'm a bitch, people won't want to get to know me better, which is, to a nervous system, that's like, that's what will keep me safe. If people don't get close to me, then they can't hurt me. Okay, so it's that energy. But here you are, you know, and what's coming through here is like who you are to your person. There actually is something with you and with this connection that they're wanting. Okay, I feel like they want to let you in, but there's an even stronger shadow side to your person that's like, no, we don't, no, we're not going there. Okay, and so what your person has been doing as a way to keep you as far away from their heart space as possible, is keeping things casual between the two of you. Is this something that pile one's person actually wants? Do they want? No. Well, yes and no. And again, we're talking about, because your person is going back and forth between their authentic self and then their masked self, okay? It makes it easier for them to move on, is what they're saying. And then we got healing from heartbreak. Tell me more about the Seven of Cups here. Oh, they got the Ten of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, your person could be very commitment phobic, very afraid of letting people in, letting people get close to them. There's a sense here that there are some skeletons in your person's closet that they don't want anyone to know about. They may not want you to know how afraid they are, just in general. The fears that they have. For some of you, your person could be suffering from, you know, a mental illness or some kind of a chronic illness even, or what do they call that? Depression. And for some reason, there's shame tied to that. Yeah, there's a lot of avoidance coming through in your person's energy. And it's not the strongest energy, but it is here. Okay, there is, and we are going to look into that to see what exactly it is that your person is wanting from you and from this connection. The only thing, though, is, and I'll see if I can tap into, like, okay, yes, I acknowledge the shadow side, but let's tap into the core. You know, we'll see if we can figure out what it is, you know, your person truly wants, not their shadow side. Let's find out what pile one's person, where does pile one stand with their person right now? We have grow with the snake, but it's showing up in the reverse. So in the upright position, it says empath and narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used, enabling, and boundaries. And so with this being in the reverse, your person isn't using you. Now, they could be showing up to you, pile one, in a way that looks like narcissism or having narcissistic tendencies. But what you may not be seeing is how that is. It's like a protection mechanism. It's a safety measure that I don't even know if your person knows that they're doing it on, like, you know, like it's a subconscious thing. It's a nervous system hack, right? It's your person's nervous system's way of keeping them safe from, like, being hurt or getting harmed, because there's something about letting people in too close and not wanting to be hurt again. Okay, in the upper, let's see, we have hammer. This is sabotage. All right, sabotage, rebuilding. And so I feel like maybe you guys have been in a cycle with this person, a lot of push and pull, a lot of stops and starts, a lot of, you know, running and chasing, where, you know, your person will build with you, okay, and then things get to a certain point and then they sabotage it. Let's get one more. Where does pile one currently stand with their person? I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of ambiguity coming through in your person's energy. I can see why, because the Seven of Cups can also talk about confusion. If you're feeling confused about what your person wants, how they feel, it is because it's like their authentic self is struggling. There's an inner tug of war between your person's authentic self and what they authentically want, and then their shadow, their inner demons, okay? Where does pile 1 currently stand with their person, please? The good news is, though, that we do have the devil in the reverse, and we also have healing from heartbreak. And so while your person may not be devoting a lot of time, energy, and effort into their connection with you, and I don't know how their healing is going to affect your guys' connection, right? All I can tell you at this point that there is healing happening. It can be very messy. You know, healing is rarely ever, I've never known healing to be linear, never. I'm not saying it's impossible. Nothing is impossible, right? But yeah, there is healing happening here. Now, how that might end up affecting your guys' connection still remains to be seen. Pile 1's person, where do they stand with pile 1 currently? You got the Phoenix. Okay, that's good. This is new phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth. Okay, so, you know, it is very possible that, you know, your person's healing could actually somehow, way, shape, or form benefit you and your connection with them, pile 1. So, again, the Phoenix says new phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, and a changed mind. And then Sunglasses says watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, and focusing out. Let me look at Sunglasses. There's a couple of messages coming through, but let me see which one is standing out here. Tell me more about Sunglasses, please. At the bottom of the deck, we have Coffin. It says endings bring new beginnings. There's growth twice. And change is here twice too, with, remember, the number 23 that breaks down to the number 5. And so there is a shift happening, it feels like, in your guys' connection, and it's happening in a positive direction, in a way that will eventually at some point benefit your guys' connection. Okay, there is healing happening in your person's energy. It is very messy. It's like trial and error, okay? Your person could be stumbling in their healing, very much so. And that might be why there is a lot of like quietness in the energy of your guys' connection. And maybe with your person overall, especially here with shutting down. Because as your person is going through healing inner demons and stuff like that, a lot of the times people aren't able to heal a shadow until it's been triggered, okay? And people who aren't well versed in how to handle triggers that are like activated, like they're in the midst of a triggered response, it can be, you know, they're not able to catch, or they don't catch themselves from acting out of that trigger until it's like, quote unquote, too late. But, you know, as long as, and the reason why I bring that up is because you know, that's going to be something, though, if your person is acting out of those triggers, it can, you know, it can hurt the other person, especially if acting out of that trigger would look something like, you know, talking to other people, involving themselves with third parties, lashing out in anger, saying things that they don't mean, you know, at least in that moment and stuff like that. Yeah, it feels messy. Tell me more about Sunglasses, please. Okay, yeah, they're focusing more on themselves right now. They're trying to stay kind of like, what do they call that? Not on the down low. I mean, some of them might, you know, I mean, if they're kind of struggling their way through some of this healing process with the devil, energy in the reverse, and then healing from heartbreak. You know, for those of you where your person maybe ended things or you guys had to break up and walk away from each other, it probably, very much, it could be for the best, because your person is not, they're not having a very smooth transition. And they're not having a very smooth process of healing, okay? And so your person may, yeah, because here we have the Seven of Swords and then the Five of Wands. It's a this process that the process of healing that your person is going through. Yes, it's healing, and it's very messy. Very messy, okay? And there's just some things that your person is not wanting to share, not wanting to open up, you know, and so it could be one of those things where it's like your person is like, it's just better for us to not be together in that sense, to not be committed, because, you know, your person, it's like their authentic self doing battle with their shadow side is just creating a lot, you know what I mean? And so I'm not necessarily trying to make excuses for your person, but as somebody who, you know, I've been doing, you know, shadow work on myself for fucking ages. And it's one of those things, like, until you get a really good handle on a trigger, and how to process triggers as they are activated, it's like, it's only been within like the last year or so that I've been able to be triggered and just not instantly react and then catch myself later. It's like one of those things like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have burned that bridge, or you know what I mean? It's that kind of an energy. And so, I mean, I'm not condoning, you know, lashing out and stuff like that, but at the same time, I understand it because I've been there. And so your person is very much focusing out, right? They're just working on self is what they're doing right now. And so for those of you where you are separated, you're not having a lot to do with your person, or maybe communication between the two of you is very sporadic. That's what's happening. It's like your person is keeping a distance because they're in this very messy process of healing, and it's not perfect at all. Okay, for most of you, your person isn't yet able to catch it's like they act first and then they kind of reflect back later, right? And that's kind of how it can tend to go in the very beginning for people who are very new on a healing journey. You know, and some triggers, you guys, are a lot more visceral than others. And so, you know, person's trying to work through it. Here we have the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. They're, you know, stepping into, you know, they're learning how to step into their core self, but it's not without its battles here. Okay? It's not without some foundations being shaken up and, you know, maybe some pain or disappointment or whatever being activated. And it's not without its what do they call that, casualties? It's not without its casualties. Okay, hold on, I just had a bunch of cards all over the floor. Oh, that's interesting. Look what they were. We have the Ten of Swords in the reverse, the Queen of Cups in the reverse, but then we also have the Star and the Sun. I feel like this is a message for you guys. You guys may have suffered quite a bit when it comes to this person and this connection because of their shadow side, kind of at war with their authentic self and what their authentic self wants from you, okay? But the good news is the worst of it is over with this Ten of Swords in the reverse here. And this Queen of Cups in the reverse could be you, and this is very smart if this is what you're doing. You may have, you know, why am I hearing ceremoniously? Is that even a word? Like you ceremoniously kind of booted your person out of your heart space because they were just kind of like a raging bull in a china cabinet, you know? But here we have the Star and the Sun. Beautiful energies together, okay? You know, for those of you, and we'll see what they want. I feel like you're fine either way. Like you're going to be fine either way, with or without this person. You know, we had Scorpio energy show up, Aquarius energy show up, and Leo energy show up with all that. Let's see. Let's find out what they want. What does pile one's person want with pile one in this connection? strategy. There's more of that Seven of Swords energy. Seven of Swords in the upright position can then also just talk about being very strategic, right? Let's find out more. What does pile one's person want with pile one? Okay, running in the reverse. Okay. So they're not wanting to avoid you in the connection like indefinitely. That's not what they want. That's their authentic self coming through. There actually is a part of your person, pile one, that wants, like if you've offered them something, they actually want to accept it. But up until this point, there's been a very strong shadow that your person has been dealing with where it's like it carries more weight than, you know, their authentic self. Let's get one more. What does pile one's person want with pile one, please? Now, I want to reiterate that when I talk about strategy, because we do have Girl with the Snake showing up in the reverse, it's not coming through as manipulative, all right? Abundance. Bottom of the deck, vacation. Adventure, getaway, travel. There's a couple of messages coming through. This is at the bottom of the deck, so it's not the strongest of energies. Oh, break time might be over. If you guys are separated from your person, I just heard break time is over. Okay, so some of you could be expecting some kind of a reconciliation with your person very soon. This could also be your person wanting to spend more quality time or wanting to get away with you, wanting to take you on vacation, wanting to have and start new adventures with you, which for me translates into memories, like good memories and stuff, right? Tell me more about abundance. They want a life of ease with you. They don't want to feel so burdened. With strategy here, it says planning their next move, being clever, leaving nothing to chance. What's strategy for? Strategy to what? With pile one, please. And this is neat because runner in the reverse position shows that they're running towards strategy. So your person is actually, what they're wanting to do is they're wanting to put a lot more energy into and be very much more strategic, structured, when it on point. What's the word? Intentional. They want to be more intentional when it comes to you and towards this connection. That's why, yeah, specifically about, you know, this is carrying the energies, and again, this might be a little bit more on the specific side, but your person is wanting to use this break as an opportunity to get down to the core root of what has been getting in the way of your guys' connection. They don't want to run from it anymore. But if you guys, and this is coming from your person, if you're having to be separated, if you're having to take this break, if you need to be apart, it's like they want to use it to their advantage. I'll be honest, there's desires here for your person to maybe want to work on things. But I'm not getting this overwhelming energy coming from your person where like it has to be. It's got to be pile one. It needs to be pile one. It could be because I'm picking up on a very avoidant energy, right? That's why I may not be picking up on, you know, a lot of clinginess or anything like that, because they are coming through. It's like they are in the process of being a recovering avoidant, okay? Especially with this Phoenix here. Let me see what that Phoenix has, like what's this? Ooh, okay. Nine of Swords. It's kicking up a lot of, yeah, your person is going at it when it comes to like their authentic self, doing battle against their shadow side. They're in the throes of like an ego death right now. That's why it's difficult for me to get a really good read on like what what direction this is going to go, is because I'm picking up on, the battle that's going on basically between your person's authentic self and their shadow, okay? Very ambiguous. It's a very ambiguous energy, and that might be for you, pile one. Like if you're wanting concrete answers, that might be signaling for you to do some shadow work. There could be some lingering wounding, maybe tied to needing to know. And can you release on needing to know, right? Can you just pull back and have faith that whatever is in your best interest is like, you're still going to get what you want, but it may not come in the form of exactly the way you're wanting. I'm not saying that it's not, but needing to know, needing answers could also be a trauma response, right? And then learning how to be comfortable not knowing. I hope that makes sense. All right, pile one, that was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. If you got from this reading what you came here for, take a moment, if you would, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. Become part of the family if you haven't already done so, simply by subscribing. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. And pile one, I will see you guys at your next Pick a Card Love reading. Bye, guys. Hi, pile two. Welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Michelle. We're doing a Pick a Card Love reading. Tapping in and channeling who you are to your person, where you currently stand with them, and what is it they're wanting from you and their relationship or their connection with you. We'll also take a really quick peek into their thoughts and feelings, okay? So, yeah, just keep in mind it's a general collective love reading, so whatever resonates, take what you want from it, do what you want with it, right? If something isn't quite landing, though, just drop that bit of information or that message and leave it behind for whomever it might be resonating with. I do have personal readings available if you want me to exclusively tap into you and your person's connection. Just check the description box below. All the booking details are there. There are a lot of readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25. And I also have this exact reading available as a personal reading if you would like, a who are you to your person reading in this exact format. All right, so go check it out, you guys. See which reading resonates most with you, and we're going to get right into this reading. You guys were drawn to the Black Obsidian Kitty. Let's find out who you are to your person. We got new life. New life. The number 39 could be significant. The number 12 or the number 3. Let's see. We also have the Hermit. Virgo energy coming through. We have the Knight of Wands. And the Two of Swords. I almost feel, and not a consolation prize is, it's not, what's another word for that? This almost feels like who you are to your person. It's like you are the reward after, you're like the gift of a new start. After a time of maybe, your person having spent some time in self-reflection. You could also be someone to your person that they feel comfortable spending a lot of alone time around, right? I hope that makes sense, okay? Your person might be a bit of a homebody, or they could be that kind of person where, when they need time to recharge or spend time alone, for the most part, they prefer to be alone, but you could be that person, maybe one of a few, maybe even the only, that your person is like, they're able to recharge with you around, okay? Which feels very much like, yes, their inner circle, but also like the Holy of Holies, right? If you understand that reference. Who you are to your person, pile two, you are somebody that's very special to them. Okay? It's almost like they see you as a blessing. They see you as, their chance at a new life, or their second start, or their second chance, or something like that. With the Two of Swords here, though, this can depict something. I don't know if maybe your person needed to sacrifice something or someone in order to have this new start with you. This could be something that they're still needing to do. Well, we're going to look into that. What's going on with the Two of Swords here? Tell me more about the Two of Swords energy. Tell me more. Okay. Okay, so I mean, they are choosing you. Let's see. Yeah, you're the Queen of Wands, pile 2. They are choosing. They are choosing you. Look, the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands both coming out in the upright position together, okay? They're choosing you. And the reason why they're not detailing what it is they might need or have to give up is because your person is saying like it's a no-brainer. Whatever it is they're needing to sacrifice, they'll do it for... Because it's one of those things, like whatever it is, what your person is saying, whatever it is that they might need to sacrifice in order for them to have this brand new start, you know, in life, but also with you, okay? It needs to be sacrificed. If there's anything in their life that gets in the way of their new start, your person is seeing it as it's a no-brainer. It needs to happen. If there's anything that doesn't align with their new start with you, then your person is seeing it as, then it doesn't need to be in my life, whether it's whatever it might be, right? You know, even if there are people in their life, Queen of Cups in the reverse at the back of the deck, it doesn't matter how close they may have been to that person. If for whatever reason that person or that connection is conflicting with their new start with you, then that person needs to go. But this feels in general, right? You know, again, it's a general reading, so whatever resonates, but this is an overall energy that your person is looking through the lens of. They're saying whatever, if there's anything in their life that is conflicting with your guys' connection, your person is like, then it needs to go, right? Just because anything that is conflicting just overall is going to throw off just, you see what I'm saying? What am I trying to say here? It's giving me that kind of energy where it's like, you know, if you can't get along with pile 2, then there's something wrong with you. It's that kind of an energy, right? I mean, that is a little bit more specific, but that's kind of the way your person is seeing it. You know, there's something very healthy and very pure, you know, either about you and or your guys' connection, where your person is like, if it's not vibing with pile 2, then there must be something wrong with that person or that situation or something like that, okay? And so they're not having any issue whatsoever getting rid of, you know, people, connections, circumstances, whatever, that would serve as conflict with you guys. Let's find out what their thoughts and feelings are here. Lots of passion towards you guys with the Knight of Wands showing up there for who you are to your person. There's a lot of excitable energy. Your person is very excited about where things can go here. I don't know if this is a new connection or maybe it could be just a fresh start in an old relationship, right? Your person is definitely seeing the possibilities. For many of you, if it is a new connection, that's going to make sense. But for some of you where it might be an old love, but like with renewed energy, there is a sense here of like feeling excited to see where things can go, okay? That's how your person, that's who you are to your person. Pile 2's person, what's their overall thoughts and, or their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings towards pile 2, please? Pile 2's person. Okay, they're showing me this cat here. The reason why you guys may have been drawn to this black obsidian cat is because, and it's funny because both black obsidian, okay, the stone, and then cats, the animal, they're both very protective. Just energetically, you know, cats' energy, just having cats around, At least this is what's believed to be, right? And is that cats are just, they're protectors. Just having them in your place can help filter out and protect, you know, a lot of energies from coming through, okay? And that could be how your person feels and the stance that they're taking when it comes to your guy. Yeah, and that's why that Two of Swords, that's why they were saying what they were with the Two of Swords. Your person could be that's a very masculine stance to take too, just masculine energy stance to take, being very protective, very supportive. Whatever works with us is okay, gets the green light. If something isn't working with us or on our behalf, then it's got to go, okay? Pile 2's person, their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings towards pile 2, please. Oh, your person feels very safe with you. Let's get one more. Ooh. At the bottom of the deck, healing from heartbreak. Okay, we'll see what's going on with someone else has my heart. Yeah, for many of you, this is new energy coming into like an old relationship or an old situation. This is not new. This is not a new connection with a brand new person. And you guys may have some kind of a past, okay? We do have, please don't give up on me. Don't give up on us. At the other side of that, it says you should let me go. But this is coming through in a different context than what I originally wrote that down. And it can also talk about if you guys have spent time in separation, or if there has been a time where you guys have not been together, right? Your person may have utilized that time apart in a very healthy way. We have healing from heartbreak at the bottom of the deck, okay? And they have utilized that time apart in a way that, you know, could benefit you and your guys' connection should you, you know, give this person another chance. Okay, what's going on with, let's see, someone else has my heart right now. But I will say it is favoring the side that says, please don't give up on me and don't give up on us. Okay, you may have had to let your person go in the past because they needed to go through this hermit stage, right? They needed to go through that hermit phase. They needed to go through a phase of self-reflection. Your person could be very passionate, very impulsive, and that was something that they're needing to like rein in, right? And for those of you where it resonates, your person may, you know, have been involved in a third-party situation. Doesn't always have to be romantic. But with the Knight of Wands being there, that can signify, you know, some like passion, romantic interest, even sexual interest, okay, with the third party. Tell me more about someone else has my heart. They're healing from that. Okay, yeah, heart, with Three of Swords in the reverse. This doesn't feel like it's an active energy. This is something that they've had to get over, okay? And what your person is saying there with the sacrifice energy that was coming through with the Two of Swords, they're willing to give that person up if it means being able to have a fresh new start with you, okay? Again, it's one of those things, and this could also be just that overall energy where your person's saying it's like, yeah, you know, it doesn't matter who might have their heart. And I'm talking about like friendships and family members. Doesn't always have to be a romantic third party, but it does include that, okay? If it is something that is present in your guys' relationship, it's like they don't care who they have to give up. If it means having a peaceful brand new start with you, pile 2, okay? They don't want you to give up on them and on this connection, though. They want to inject more, like more energy into this connection with you. Tell me about I don't worry about the possibility of losing you. Whoa, okay. this is kind of an energy of like, they know something about this bond feels, for your person anyway, feels promised. This isn't a flippant energy that they're in. It's not one of those things where it's like, you know, pile two's not going anywhere, so I'm just gonna go, you know, sow my wild oats and stuff like that. That might have been an energy that they were in prior, but it's taking on a new meaning now. Your person feels safe, like they can relax. Like, you're not going anywhere, but it's not coming through in a flippant kind of an energy. It's like, you're solid, pile two. Your person knows you're solid. They know you're loyal. They know you're faithful, right? They are confident that your loyalness and your faithfulness is going to keep you in their life. And there's something about your person, like, taking refuge in that. Feeling safe in that. Like, I can make my home here with pile one or pile two. They're not going to go anywhere. They're not going to hurt me. They're not going to leave me for someone else. Okay. Let's see. Find out where you currently stand with them. Where does pile two currently stand with their person? We got Chaser. Where does pile two currently stand with their person? For those of you where you have been separated from your person, or this was a breakup, it's like your person may have up until this point been kind of relying on like old text messages, old photos, old videos and stuff like that. And it's like they want to make new memories with you for where you stand. Okay. In other words, it's like they don't want you to just become a memory and stay just a memory. Okay. They want you to have more of an active, they want you to be more of an active participant in their life, okay, for where you stand with your person, pile two. Okay, we got Ascending and Cupid's Arrow. We also have Seduction. Yeah, your person is wanting that, especially with that Knight of Wands there for who you are to them. Your person is actually liking it. They do see you as very seductive and very tempting, right? Now, if there was ever a romantic third party in the mix, you know, that could have been causing some problems for your person. You know, it's given the energy of somebody that may have been in a third party energy, but they're over here thinking and fantasizing about you. Okay. But with this new life here, though, this is your person saying they don't want that. You know, if there have been third party energies, it's like they're in this energy of being willing to sacrifice whatever it is they're needing to sacrifice in order, you know, to have you again, basically. But not just in a, you know, a flash in the pan or just a casual connection kind of a thing. It's like, no, they want a whole new life and a second chance and a whole new beginning with you in this connection. They want to flirt with you. They want to express themselves to you in more ways than one, right? Not just in their words, but in their actions as well. Let's tell me about Chaser. Let's see. So we have we have Ascending and we have Cupid's Arrow. And so let's see. Cupid's Arrow says, have faith, love is coming, surprise invitation or meeting. It does say something about hesitation. Okay. Ascending says transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, and preparing for union. There has been some things that your person is needing to let go of, though, in order for that to happen, and they're all for it. They're like, got it. Okay, working on it. They're saying pile 2. All right, because what they want is they want a whole new beginning with you. It's like, yeah, same people, but a whole different relationship. I don't know what your relationship dynamic has been with your person up until this point. Doesn't feel like it was anything that was actually working out, okay? And so they're wanting to change that. Tell me more about the chaser for who pile 2 is to their person. Yeah, ooh. With the 5 of Swords here, your person is like, they'll do whatever it takes. They'll fight for this. For you. They'll fight for you. They'll fight for this new beginning with you if that's what it takes. Okay? Again, they'll cut off whoever they need to cut off. They'll stop doing whatever it is they need to stop doing. Because they're in love with the King of Cups at the back of the deck. They're in love with you, pile 2. For some of you, it's like, you know, this person may have had to learn some harsh lessons. There's energies coming through of your person like, you know, they made their choice and, you know, they made their bed and now they got to lie in it, you know, and it's like, they learned their lesson is basically what they're saying, pile 2. And now they're ready to do right and to get right. Do right by you and get right for you, okay? Let's find out what it is they're wanting, and then we'll wrap up your guys' reading. If you guys have gotten from this reading what you came here for, do me a favor real quick. Smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. Become part of the family if you haven't already done so, simply by subscribing. And then don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. All right, pile 2. Let's see. Pile 2's person. What are they wanting with pile 2 in this connection against time? They want this now. They want this new beginning with you now. Right now. Okay? They don't want to wait anymore. What does pile 2's person want with pile 2, please? Ooh, your person is, they got sexy time on the brain when it comes to you, if you catch my drift, okay? What do they call that? Bedroom acrobat? Yeah, bedroom acrobatics, wedding. There you go. You know, they want the best of both worlds. And I feel like your person, like they found that in you. And what I mean by that is, you know, you can be sweet, right? You can be cherub, you can be angel, but you can also, you know, give them the kind of like sexy time that feels toxic, right? And it's not coming through in terms of like, you know, it's like you fulfill both your person's like high vibe senses, but then you also fulfill like their animalistic carnal nature as well, right? It's one of those things like, you know, what's that saying? It's like, you know, a lady in the streets but a freak in the sheets. It's like you're that to your person, right? It's just a saying. So, you know, if you don't identify as a lady, you put it in whatever context fits you, but that's like your person, that's what they want, right? But ultimately it's like wedding. They want, it says seeing a future with you, taking it to the next level, and choosing you. I already told you that they're choosing you unequivocally. It's like whatever needs to happen in order for this, you know, in order for me and pile 2 to have this bright new beginning together, they're willing to do it. They'll be as cutthroat as they need to be too, right? And not to be mean. It's not coming from a space from your person necessarily of being mean, because they are genuinely seeing, like, if anything is going to get in the way of me and pile 2, you know, then it doesn't need to be in my life. Because they're seeing you almost as like, you know, angelic, right? Very high vibe. And it's like, if it's not going to mesh with pile 2, then it doesn't need to be in my life, right? It's that kind of a thing. At the bottom of the deck, it says soulmate, soul connection, a friend, romantic partner. Yeah, you know, they don't just want to be, you know, your spouse or your significant other, they also want to be your best friend, okay? But this is what they want. And they want it now. All right, pile 2. That was your reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. I will see you guys at your next Pick a Card Love reading. Bye, pile 2. Hi, pile 3. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Michelle. We are doing a Pick a Card Love reading. We're tapping in and channeling through who you are to your person, where you currently stand with them, and what is it they're wanting from their connection with you, okay? We'll also take a real quick peek into like their thoughts and feelings when it comes to you and their connection with you. So just keep in mind, you guys, it's a general collective love reading. So whatever resonates, you can do whatever you want with it. If something isn't quite meshing, if it's not quite landing, just drop that bit of information or that message and leave it behind for whomever it might be resonating with, okay? And I do have personal readings available if you would like for me to exclusively tap into you and your person's connection. All the booking details can be found in the description box below. There are a lot of readings available in the specific person category. Many of them are just $25. I also have this exact reading available as a personal reading if you would like this reading in this exact format as a personal. All right, so go check it out. See which personal reading resonates or vibes with you the most. Okay, you guys? So you guys were drawn to, what is this? The Fire Agate Heart. Let's see who you are to your person. We have Come to the Edge showing up in the reverse. Okay. You've challenged your person. Okay, so what I'm being shown with the Ten of Cups in the reverse, your person had, or could still have, I feel like it's being challenged very much though, an idealized perception of what they believe romantic and or family life is supposed to be, okay? They're showing me Stepford Wives. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, has there been such a push and pull between you guys? I can feel it. I'm hearing exhausting, like it's been exhausting. Your person has kind of had a really tight grip on like an idealized version of what they believe like a wife or a husband or a spouse is supposed to be. It's that kind of an energy. And, you know, or they could have like an idealized perception of what they believe like, you know, married life should be like, or what a mother or a father should be like. You know, it's like they're not really, up until this point at least, because you are challenging that, okay? They've taken almost like the humanity out of it. Like, not, you know, again, Stepford Wife. Perfectionism has been rampant in your person, and it's being challenged very much. And it could very well be because, you know, up until this point, it's gotten them in trouble in more ways than one. I don't know if maybe they have I don't know if they have had experiences with people in their life where maybe that person fit, like, superficially, like, fit the role, but it's led to disaster, right? And so you come in, you know, and you're human and you're authentic. I feel like that's what it is. You're very authentic about who you are, and maybe very even unapologetic, right? You're like, I'm not perfect, I'm human, you know, and you very much challenge this person. And the weird thing about it is your person feels drawn to you, even though on the outside you don't necessarily fit whatever their ideal is, okay? If you've never seen the Stepford Wives, you know, and you're into this with your person, go check that out. Go check out that movie and watch it, okay? It's like your person thought they wanted a Stepford Wife, and they have up until this point had a very difficult time letting that go, letting the desire for that go. But what they're starting to find is it hasn't served your person at all. It's gotten them in trouble in more ways than one. And so you're kind of like the great disruptor. That's a very interesting energy coming through. Something about like who you are to your person is very unexpected. Maybe especially with what I'm picking up with Stepford wife, you weren't their type, like their usual type, but they were still drawn to you. Okay. Pile 3's person, tell me more. Let me see. How does Pile 3's person truly honestly feel? Their honest thoughts and feelings towards Pile 3 and their connection with Pile 3, please. Help me understand what's going on here more. And Pile 3, help them understand what's going on here. Happy where I'm at. Okay. Toxic. That feels like a toxic comfort zone, though. Your person could have very much have been, I want, like in that energy of I want what I want when I want it. And not allowing for imperfection. Give me a couple more. You know, and if they, okay, here's another thing, because that's coming up right underneath the Nine of Swords in the reverse. Your person may not be able to understand it consciously because, you know, consciously, you know, there's still probably more pride and ego, like wounded pride and ego, than they are like their authentic self. But for some reason, there's just something about you that they feel drawn to, that they're actually happy with. And there could be kind of like an inner like an inner tug of war because, you know, up until this point, their usual type has been more of a Stepford wife or a Stepford husband. Okay. Again, that takes the humanity out of it. Now, again, I am picking up where maybe they have, you know, quote unquote, found what they were wanting in a Stepford wife or a Stepford husband. I'm picking up on, you know, they may have found partners that were like, yes, I'll, you know, fulfill that role, but it came at some kind of a cost or an expense to your person. They could have, you know, some, you know, narcissistic partners. They, you know, people who were maybe gold diggers, narcissistic, out for self. Again, Stepford wife, Stepford husband, the humanity's not in it, right? Because if you're looking for that perfect role, it doesn't leave a lot of room for error or for flaws. It's perfectionism, right? And so, yeah, they might get what they want in terms of on the outside, you know, looking exactly like what it is they're wanting, but there's still something missing, and it's the human component. And even when they do find what it is they thought that they wanted, there's still flaws there, right? There's still conflict there. There's still, so whatever the case may be, it's like, and this is kind of, I will say, it makes your person feel very uncomfortable, okay? Who you are to your person, you're not their regular type, but they are drawn to you. And I feel like the reason why this is because you're kind of serving as this tower moment in your person, like, you know, I don't, did your person grow up like watching like maybe old 50s or 60s, you know, like Leave It to Beaver or Donna Reed or something like that, where it kind of impressed within your person, this is how wives are supposed to be, or husbands, right? This is the way it's supposed to be. And not understanding and realizing that that's not real life, right? That's not real life. It's like they weren't valuing, they were equating your value with like how you dress, your like how you keep up with your body, but it's not coming from a space of like, I just want you to be healthy, pile 3. It's like, no, they wanted, you know, like a Barbie, or don't they, you know, something like a Stepford wife or a Stepford husband, honestly, is what it's coming through like. Give me a couple more. Their real, true, honest thoughts and feelings for pile 3, please. This does not surprise me that this is coming out in the way that it is. sideways. And so one side says, aren't you tired of dealing with my bullshit yet? The other side says, sticking to your boundaries equals mad respect for you. See, I feel like a lot of you pile 3, you're unapologetically yourself. You're like, I dress how I want to dress. If I want to dress up, I'll dress up. Your person, very superficial, right? I'm going to eat what I want to eat. I'm going to dress how I want to dress. If I want to, get skinny or go out and work out and go to the gym, it's because I want to be healthy. It's for me, right? If I want to have a down day where I'm just, in sweats and whatever all the time and not wearing makeup and my hair is looking wild and stuff, that's what I'm going to do. And, your person may have had a type where their type was always done up. Always had hair and nails done, or just always well groomed, and just, even if they weren't doing anything that day, it's like full makeup, whatever, right? And not to say that there's anything wrong with that. There are people that are inherently that way, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But there's something here, again, Stepford wife, Stepford husband. They weren't perfectionism. They weren't allowing much for the humanness of life experience. And, there is energies coming through where they have had experiences now with maybe somebody that was their type, and then they're like, wait a minute, yeah, on the outside they fit, right? But there was something fundamentally missing with that person. I'm picking up on narcissistic, gold diggers, stuff like that. This happy where I'm at, I feel like that's with you. That's not the energy that I had initially wrote that in, but there's something with your person, like they're actually happy with you. And there's a very deep part of your person's programming that is like, why are we happy with this? Pile 3 just does what pile 3 wants. Pile 3 doesn't cater to me. They don't cater to, pile 3 just, you know what I mean? It's like, you're not that you're, it's not, oh my gosh, how am I wanting to say this? Because to your person's wounded pride and ego, it's like, it's not a flex, right? Their pride and ego wants you to overly focus on what kind of clothes you're wearing, how you look. They want you to almost want to feel bad for not wearing makeup or having your hair done or being on top of everything every single moment of the day, right? But you're so much more chill and relaxed than that. Not to say that you don't take personal pride in, like, your appearance and stuff like that, but it's not the end all be all for you. Yeah, you might enjoy dressing up and going out and dressing to the nines and stuff like that, but you also have no problem going out and going grocery shopping and just sweats and, a t-shirt and your hair up in a bun, things of that nature. And, your person, for whatever reason, their type is the kind of person that would never leave the house without like a full face of makeup on. But it's coming from a place of vanity, right? That's their type. That's it. Okay. Yeah, their type was somebody that was so vain, they wouldn't allow themselves to be seen. Just natural, right? And you're not that way. You have no problem not being seen and, in a full face of makeup or something like that. There's something about you. You challenge your person's usual type. Let me get one more. It's giving me energies of, yeah, look at that. I care too much what other people think. Yeah. And it's one of those things where they want you to care too much what they think. They want, and just people in general. I'm picking up on somebody that, loves looking at Instagram models or, people with a lot of filters. And it's just like appearance has to be perfect and on point, but not just for photos, but in real life all the time. And there's nothing wrong. I mean, I know there's people out there that are inherently that way. Like, they wake up and the first thing they do, whether they have any plans of leaving the house that day, is to, you know, put on a full face of makeup and blah, 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 right? I don't know a lot of people, though, that just walk around their house wearing, you know, 3 to 6 inch heels. I don't, you know. If you're that way, you know, it's no shade either way. Most people are not that way. Most people aren't just walking around their house in 3 to 6 inch heels purely out of comfort, right? Not expecting any company to come over. This kind of like this feels like your person's type feels unrealistic. That's where that's coming from. They both respect you for holding true to yourself and staying true to yourself, and on the other hand, it drives them nuts because they, you know, again, whoever the regular type was, it's not you, but it's not any shade to you at all. Your person, I think, has had experiences with someone, maybe even multiple people, whose appearance fit your person's type, and it wasn't a great experience for your person. They're starting to realize and see the kinds of personalities of people who match their physical type. And it's like, this just doesn't, it's not what they want. It was more of a headache than it was. It's like, yeah, the novelty of it worn off. And then they're like, okay, yeah, you look awesome. You look great. You even look great in a bikini or great in a bathing suit or whatever the case. You look wonderful naked and stuff. But you know, you're a gold digger and you're a narcissistic, and you know, you have an ego the size of fucking Texas, and it wasn't the experience they were hoping it was or thinking it was going to be, right? And so with your person coming through in this energy of like, I'm actually happy with pile 3, even though pile 3 doesn't fit my usual type. It's like they're starting to kind of see how their quote unquote their type is unrealistic. Okay, you're shaking that up here with the Tower. Let's see. At first, what I'll do, let's see where you stand with them. Where does pile 3 currently stand with their person? With the 9 of Swords being in the reverse, there's a slow acceptance that your person is starting to surrender to. That, you know, hold on. Show me where pile 2 stands with, or pile 3 stands with their person currently. Runner. That's still there. That is, yeah, your person is still in avoidance, especially with that come to the edge in the reverse. You are challenging this person. And it's not just you, right? Because you don't fit the, you know, the Stepford wife idealized version that your person has in their head, but at the same time, they still desire you. They still feel drawn to you. But there's such an inner battle going on in your person's head. It's like there's still a part of them that's wondering, like, is, you know, it's like, can I have a Stepford wife or a Stepford husband, right? That has the temperance of pile 3. They're still in denial. They're still in denial. Where does pile 3 currently stand with their person? Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're still in that energy pile 3. They're still in that energy. Girl with the snake at the back of the deck. They're still kind of hoping that, because now what they're seeing is that if they could find somebody that's kind of like a Stepford wife or a Stepford husband that has your, like, your temperance, right? Your temperament, I should say, your temperament, they'd be happy. Oh, I don't know though. See, that's what... They're still looking for it. There's something that you bring to the table that they love very much attracted to, very much drawn to, but it's not enough. And so and that's another thing with Stepford wives, right? It's like, okay, I'll take what I like from this person and then what I like from this person over here, you know, take those traits and combine them into one person. That would be my perfect person, right? But something about your person's quote unquote perfect person feels very unrealistic. Girl with the snake on the bottom of the deck, it says empath and narcissistic paradigm, being charmed or used, enable, and boundaries. You know, you are somebody now, I don't know if this has always been the case with you, pile 3, where, you know, you're not putting up with this person's stuff. And you're not allowing your person to get away with things. You are calling them out. You are correcting them, and you are, like, you know, enforcing and enabling boundaries and letting them know when they cross the line. And I don't know, this is so strange, because there's also a part of them that actually, you know, likes being put in their place. Again, inner struggle going on with your person about what it is they truly want. What do they want with pile 3? We got memories. Spell work in the reverse. What do they want with pile 3? Against time. They're confused. Yeah, you know, and then here we have craving you, sexual chemistry, and lustful desires. Your person can't understand because they are seeing that you don't fit their normal, usual type. Again, their usual type might be somebody that's always dressed to the nines, designer clothes, wearing the best things, going to the best restaurants, you know, driving. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm picking up from, it's coming from a space of vanity. It's coming from a space of, like, your person almost wants someone that's like, okay, they want someone that will go to great lengths to maintain that image and that lifestyle. But they've also seen the down, and they've had experiences with people like that already, and they've also experienced the downside to somebody like that. And that's why that Tower card is there. It's creating kind of like what do they call that? A cognitive dissonance within your person. Because they've seen the downside to having somebody that will go to great lengths to maintain their image. to, you know, that it's coming from a space of vanity. But I'll be honest, they have not let go of the hope that they're going to be able to find kind of like a perfect blend of somebody that will go to great lengths to maintain their appearance and their image and stuff like that, but they're not narcissistic and it's not coming from a space of vanity. People, you know, somebody that will go to great lengths to maintain their beauty, their attractiveness on all fronts, but not be conceited, not have this when at all costs kind of a energy to back that up, right? Your person's having a hard time finding exactly what it is that they want, but they still want that picture perfect Stepford wife, Stepford, the appearance of that. Somebody that is, you know, I don't know. Yeah, it's really throwing your person for a loop because they don't want to let go of that ideal. They don't want to believe that it's not possible for them to have that. You know, and being honest with you, pile 3, you're not matching that ideal. Okay? I, as a reader, you know, just as a person, I'm like, I don't know if, I mean, it could exist, I guess, people like that, right? That will go to great lengths to make sure that their appearance is exactly where they want it to be, but not be narcissistic and it not coming from a space of vanity. I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. Memories with feelings of nostalgia, pleasure, and sadness and stuck in the past. You know, and I'll close it with this, but I'll be honest. You know, your person, if there's a chance that they can meet somebody that fits whatever their ideal is, with a few tweaks that they are putting in there now because they have had experiences with people like that, that's what they want, and you're not fitting that at this point in time. It's like there's kind of an energy here of, you know, not to say that you let yourself go or anything like that, or that it's not a priority of yours, but, you know, especially if you have a lot more on your plate, you know, you may not be the kind of person that feels the need to go to the gym, you know, 5, 6, 7 days a week, or, you know, spend a lot of money on, what do they call it, like cosmetic surgery or anti-aging things or stuff like that, you know what I mean? You could be somebody that's just more natural, like, especially if, you know, you're allowing yourself to age gracefully and you're, you know what I mean? It's just something like that. But that's what they prefer. They're actually attracted to people who will go to those kinds of lengths, who will get cosmetic surgery or, you know, little nips and tucks and stuff like that, you know. And no shade either way. No shade either way. But your person is also seeing where the kinds of personalities, at least that they've seen up to this point, that have been willing to do that. People that will work extra jobs to make extra money so that they can afford, you know, treatments and whatever. I'm starting to get confused in this energy, pile 3, so I'm going to go ahead and close it down. I'm trying to make sense of where this is coming from. And I'm just not finding it. I'm not finding the sense in what it is. And I, you know, there's nothing wrong with not feeling the need to not get anti-aging treatments or not feeling the need to have, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not like that. But no shade on anybody that is, you know, at all. No shade on anybody that for whatever reason that likes to go in and have aesthetic whatever those cosmetic, aesthetic, I don't even know the names of those procedures, chemical peels and facelifts and Botox and all that stuff. No shade on anybody that does, right? But not everybody feels the need to do that. And I feel like that's where you're at, not saying that you let yourself go, not that at all, but it's like you don't feel this need to hang on to like your youth. It's like, if I'm going to age, I'm going to age gracefully, right? And whatever the case may be, no shade either way. But as far as your person is concerned, they are attracted more to the kinds of personalities where they feel a need to hold on to their youth and their beauty, right? And not that old age or aging or whatever isn't beauty, but your person, okay, your person is equating beauty with youth and staying physically, appearance-wise, youthful. Because, see, the thing that I'm catching on to, it's like your person doesn't necessarily care what kind of a diet that person has as long as they stay skinny. They don't care what they put on their face as long as it looks younger than what it is, right? It's coming from a vanity kind of a point of view, whereas you have people who are like, yes, they appreciate youthful beauty and stuff like that, but there's also recognizing that, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and it's more than just appearance, right? So that's kind of like where they're coming from. And they're still looking for that. They're still not wanting to let that go. All right, pile 3. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again today, you guys. If this resonated or if you got from this reading what you came here for, do me a favor. Take a moment, if you would, smash the like button for me. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. Comment below. Let me know that you picked this pile. Let me know how it resonated. This was a hard one for me to get through just because I was having a difficult time translating the energies that I'm tapping into. Okay, so hopefully you guys were able to understand exactly what is going on here. Either way, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me again today. Become part of the family if you haven't yet done so, simply by subscribing. Don't forget about the notification bell so you don't miss a reading or an announcement. In pile 3, I will see you guys at your next pick a card love reading. Bye, guys.